We're all along on Get Up on this Halloween edition with Halloween tomorrow. Taylor Lewan, a different costume every single segment of the show.
Yes.
Jack Sparrow, yes?
Well, just a generic pirate. Generic pirate. I'm not here to take titles. Listen, we're way past it. I'm just here to have a good time.
Captain Taylor Sparrow. I like it. Okay. I didn't have that on my bingo card today. I didn't have that on my bingo card today. And I didn't have this on my bingo card today. I did not expect to come in this morning and be talking about what the governor of Louisiana said about the search for Brian Kelly's replacement at LSU, but you need to hear it. Governor Jeff Landry told reporters the AD will not be making that decision. That's because Scott Woodward, he says, is responsible for two of the largest buyouts in college football history. Jimbo Fisher is at Texas A&M, and now Kelly at LSU. Just listen to the governor yesterday.
I can tell you right now, Scott Woodward is not selecting the next coach. Hell, I'll let Donald Trump select it before I let him do it. I don't know, but the Board of Supervisors is going to come up with a committee, and they're going to go find us a coach. This is a pattern. The guy that's here now that wrote that contract cost Texas A&M $70-something million. Right now, we got a $53 million liability. We are not doing that again. And you know what? I believe that we're going to find a great coach. I mean, maybe we'll let President Trump pick it. He loves winners. You know, I'm not going to be picking the next coach. But I can promise you, we're going to pick a coach, and we're going to make sure that that coach is successful. And we're going to make sure that he's compensated properly. And we're going to put metrics on it. Because I'm tired of rewarding failure in this country.
There's a lot going on there. Look at Josh Pate. There was a lot going on there. I don't know about you, but I could not take my eyes off the guy signing along with him. That was an epic. That was, if Chris Mad Dog Russo was from Louisiana, it would have sounded exactly like that. Okay, Josh Pate. I mean,
what's going on, Josh?
Yes, what is our reaction to that?
What do you want from me? What do you want from me right now? Did you notice, Greeny? I mean, we go 37 different ways with this. Did you notice the real kicker in all that was, I'm not going to do the accent, but he said, I'm not hiring the next coach, but Scott Woodward's not hiring the next coach. And then someone out there asked the only question that matters, and that is, who is hiring the next coach? I don't know. I just know that Scott Woodward's not going to hire the next coach, but we're going to get our board of supervisors, all appointed by me, the governor in Louisiana, mind you, and they'll figure out who's going to hire the next coach. I'm not hiring him, but all of the people answering to me and all the people I appointed, they'll figure out how to hire him. This could be the best job in the country. We got to stack good days on top of each other in this coaching search. And yesterday, we did not stack a good day in the state of Louisiana. So the sun came up today. Today's a new day. That could be a great thing. It could also be a terrible thing. We'll just see how it goes throughout the day.
Who, at the end of the day, if he called you and said, you know what, Josh Pate, I've made the decision. Scott Woodward isn't making this choice. You are. Who would you, Josh Pate, hire to be the next coach at LSU?
Well, if I could get anyone I wanted, I would go after Marcus Freeman. Now, if Marcus Freeman says, thanks, but no thanks, I'd tell him, hey, I've cleaned up the political structure down here. You're good. And if he still says, all due respect, no thanks, I'm not sure my list would look like theirs. My list would look like a guy who really, really knows how to coach ball and who understands how to harness the infrastructure of Louisiana. And that just means let him put the rocket boosters on you that they put on Les Miles, that they put on Ed Orgeron, who we're talking about a little bit later on. I would have no problem going after a guy like Matt Campbell at Iowa State for all I care. Lane Kiffin's on the hot board. I understand that. Eli Drinkwitz is on the hot board. I just look at all these hot boards, Greeny, and every one of them has the same 3 or 4 guys. John Summerall at Tulane in state would work fine here. Truth be told, there are about 25 or 30 football coaches in America that could win at LSU if they just stayed in their lane and everyone else stayed in their lane and you properly harness Louisiana. Everyone says this candidate pool is so thin. I think that's someone looking at it through the wrong lens. I think plenty of guys could win there.
I have a theory, and I want all of you guys, because all of you know more about college football than I do. But I feel like people in general are chasing something that may not exist anymore. That in the last blink of an eye, from when Nick Saban was dominating at Alabama to the way he was, and that little moment there where Kirby Smart was doing the same thing in Georgia, the sport changed so much. The rules, the guidelines, the guardrails, everything about the sport has changed so much that everyone wants someone to do what those guys were doing, and that in the current state of college football, I'm not sure doing that is possible anymore, and thus everyone is going to fall short of the expectations that are being placed on some of these guys. I'm not saying that applies necessarily in Penn State, but to a lot of these other places. They're looking for someone to be Nick Saban, and I don't know that anyone could have done what Saban did under the rules of the sport the way they exist now. Pate, what do you think of that?
I think Nick Saban himself realized that. It's about why Nick Saban hit the exit ramp when he did. Nick Saban realized, I am Nick Saban, and even I'm having a tough time replicating the results and success here in 2023, 2024, and beyond that I could a decade earlier. I think you're talking about the flattening of the sport, really. You're talking about the shaving off the tops of the tallest redwoods in the forest, your Alabamas, your LSUs. I think a decade from now, what you're saying, Greeny, will be common knowledge. It's not common knowledge yet. It's reality, but it's a new reality. So it's not common knowledge. So people still talk about 9-3 pejoratively. 9-3 is a really good year. Truthfully, it always was. But it's a really good year even for the elite teams. You just have to bake in the idea that there's going to be a little more fluctuation. Your rosters aren't built the same. They're not as deep. They're not rooted the same way they used to be. And I don't think people have gotten comfortable with that. And you're right. They're still drawing off these ideas. They're setting their perception based off history, living in the rearview mirror. And what's out in front of the windshield is a totally different landscape.
Better said than I said it, but I completely agree. Danny.
I have a question with two names, okay? One, is there any shot of Dan Lanning from Oregon? And then two, if you're Shane Beamer, is that a place where you choose to go to? And would he be of interest for LSU?
I think Shane would be of a lot more interest at Virginia Tech, potentially, if he were to leave somewhere. I don't think there would be much of a market for Shane Beamer at LSU. There'd be a huge market for Dan Lanning at LSU. You just whispering the name will generate a lot of headlines in the Pacific Northwest and the boot of Louisiana today. Lanning's not going anywhere. The structure of his deal at Oregon is unique unto any deal in America. He's got a deal with Oregon. He's got a buyout with Oregon. He's also got a deal with Phil Knight. So it's a really good setup that no one wants to walk away from that Dan Lanning has right now.
We are super tight on time. Who do you think should be the coach of LSU? Who would you hire?
I would stay out of the college football lane, and I would go to somebody that was the OC in 2019. I'd go after Joe Brady for the Buffalo Bills.
I love that idea.
I'm still stuck on the speech by the governor. It reminds me of Billy Madison just saying a bunch of nothing and then just being like, nib-high football rules, and everybody in Louisiana is just juiced up.
So Adam Sandler is Vic.
You are the best. Thank you, my man. We'll see you next week. Saturday, SEC on ABC. We got a triple header. Number 20, Texas hosts number 9, Vandy at noon Eastern. Then you got Georgia, Florida. Then you got Tennessee, Oklahoma. What a day, what a night. Every snap available on the all-new ESPN app.
You want this, you got that. No way, watch them walk right past you. Run fast while you have the chance.